Hey guys, Victoria here, and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. Today we're going to be doing a non-spoiler review over the movie MAXXXINE. So for those of you that don't know, MAXXXINE is a 2024 horror suspense film. I kind of look at it as a noir kind of mystery horror film, give or take. Depends on how you feel about the reveals in the movie. This is the third movie in the trilogy by Ty West, who directed, wrote, and edited this film. It kind of reminds me of the Leslie Knope meme from Parks and Rec. That's what I said to Steven after we saw it. The first movie in this trilogy was X, the next one was Pearl, and then this third one is MAXXXINE with 3 X's. This movie is about Maxine Minks, real name Maxine Miller, who is a 1980s Hollywood adult star who is trying to make her big break into horror or just the film industry in general. But the events from the first film haunt and follow her and are starting to pop back up that could potentially jeopardize this groundbreaking role she has that she's using to cement herself in the film industry with. Just jumping straight into things, the performances. Mia Goth never fails, guys. Mia Goth is fantastic. Mia Goth obviously plays Maxine Minks, which we saw her in the first movie. She also played Pearl as an elderly woman and also Pearl in her youth. And she does great reprising her role as Maxine. I truly believe she was this character even more so now than the first one. And then like the kind of pop-up actors that we get, like I said, Halsey and Lily Collins, they were great in their roles. Elizabeth Debicki did a great job playing that director who's trying to show that she can stand on her own, probably after being like a second unit director or something like that. And so I really believed her. But I will say two of the standouts besides Mia Goth really were Kevin Bacon and Giancarlo. Like, I can't get over how good they were. Like some of the most crooked people ever, but they made me smile when they came on screen because they did so good. So the performances were top notch, the characters were believable. I think that Ty did a great job writing this one. I thought the script flowed well. I know that there are a couple of things that I am going to mention that weren't that great. I do feel like as a script and story as a whole, this is the weaker one out of the three, the trilogy. A bit of the 80s thing, we've seen it a lot of times, especially when it comes to slasher and horror movies. We've seen the 80s thing time and time again. I do think that Maxine tried to make it its own thing, like take this world of the 80s and make it their own thing, but I do feel like it still falls in a category of something we've seen before. And I do feel like in terms of scripts, everything kind of rushes and falls apart at the end to me, just so we can get that last shot that I can tell that Ty West really wanted, which the last frame of this movie, definitely do yourself a favor and watch the movie all the way through the credits and even after the credits have stopped. But yeah, I feel like it kind of gets a little clumsy towards that third act. It's just kind of like what happened. But I do feel like, Ty West had a vision, and along the way, some things got a little muddy. I do want to go ahead and address the hype. I do feel like the hype of this movie, just try to go in with no expectations. If you have not watched any of the trailers, do yourself a favor, don't watch any of them. I think I may have watched the first two and it kept it pretty much spoiler free for me. I do feel like the big reveal of everything in this like horror mystery, like slasher movie, most if not all of us, could see the twist coming and the reveal of the whodunit. I do wish that it hadn't been as obvious, but I will say that regarding the hype, I do feel like despite me having a feeling that that's what was going to happen, I was really excited about this movie, and I feel like all the press around it also got me really excited, and everyone and my friends and stuff like that. So whenever I did see the movie, I wish I had just left my expectations here instead of up here. So I am a little disappointed in it out of all three, but that doesn't mean I didn't like the movie. This movie was not bad. And regarding just bringing in the perspective of someone who hasn't seen the movies before, Steven said there wasn't anything that particularly jumped out at him that was like crazy great besides the cinematography, but also there wasn't anything that was just like jarringly bad. So Steven was kind of in that middle, and we'll talk about ratings a little later, but he was able to follow the movie for the most part. As someone who hadn't seen X or Pearl, I was able to give him a rundown of what happened in the past two movies so that way he could have a reference. So a couple things did go over his head, but then he was able to catch on quickly. So I do feel like in terms of writing, they try to write this movie so that way, yes, it encourages you to go back and watch the previous two movies, but it also makes it to where if you don't get a chance to see those, you can still enjoy this movie for what it is. I thought the music was amazing. The music was fantastic. Like even going through the opening credits and, everyone getting their flowers and things like that. I like that when the music was just like hitting just right, they go ahead and tell us who our composer was and who created the music for this movie, who picked the music and all that stuff. And that person is Tyler Bates. I thought the movie was beautifully shot. I like the colors. I'm always talking about colors in these movies because I feel like if you're going to be watching something for over an hour or almost over an hour and a half or whatever it may be, you want to have something there that's memorable and sticks with you. And I thought the color palette they used was nice. Like I said, it was very 80s, like the neon colors, the pops of color, like it was just really nice. There were a lot of great shots where I kept wondering, like, do I see someone in the background? And so with that, our cinematographer is Elliot Rocket. What do I give MAXXXINE? I'm gonna give MAXXXINE a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 geeks. Steven gave it more so about a 3 out of 5 as well. But yes, guys, that's all I have for you. If you have MAXXXINE, go ahead and drop a comment and let me know how you felt about the movie, spoiler free of course, and if you have not seen the movie yet, tell me if you're looking forward to it. And if you're new around here, just before you go, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get more geeks in the Geeky Sandbox, and yeah, be sure to tell a friend that will tell a friend and another friend about the channel. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.